the mind is finding something that works for your mental health. I had major depression. I was dying on drugs. A man of God came to me. He was a Mormon. He introduced me to true open power. They tell you that stuff's pig pills. We are animals. I tried it and I got well. Do I have major depression? No. I have anxiety, so I'm returning and getting true hope, and I'm learning techniques to deal with emotional problems. I'm not good in cities. I don't like cities. They're lonely places. I've always loved country life, and I love working with animals. So I've studied online. I became empathic. I believe in empathic psychic ability. I always had these abilities. I was raised alone in the country. But I started listening to normal, the people of normal. That's basically psychiatry, Canadian psychiatry. Do you feel something different than me? So I read Dr. Gabor Mate. And he wrote a book called The Myth of Normal. I read a lot. And he's right. There's not many organic brain diseases. I had major depression. I was driving a taxi. I had major trauma. So I've studied Arizona trauma therapy, compound PTSD. I've studied EFT. And I hear all sorts of hogwash about licensed psychologists. I'm working with a psychologist that believes this in certification. I'm gaining online international certification. So, what am I doing? I'm learning old skills, minimalization of capital. I do not believe in debt systems. I don't believe in worrying about my credit score is 68. I'm going to go back to Alberta, find a cheap place to live. I'll build a tiny house, but with cash and just save and invest in gold and silver. I don't believe in this Ponzi game anymore. My guitar on the ground, he says, how did you buy that? Cash. You know, and I was working as a young man. And you'll say things about boomers. It's ridiculous. You need to work. But I was raised on Christian values, and I'd walked away from them because I noticed they voided women's rights. She came. It was like the Harper Valley PTA. I walked out and I became an atheist, but it didn't fit me. It didn't fit me. Oh God. What fitted me was to go to Australia and do some major scuba diving. I spent a lot of time scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef. I was talking to a man on LinkedIn about this. He's in Florida. He's done drift diving. Mindfulness is the awakening. And seeking peace is the inner skill of life. Do I believe in lithium as the only cure? No, it's a horrible drug. Look at my teeth. They're all rotted. Why? Because it tastes like garbage. Most pills taste like garbage. So you start drinking Diet Coke. You're not going to gain weight. Do some research on this stuff. I see people drinking Diet Coke and they're fat. Diet Coke is just to cover up the rotten taste of those drugs. My teeth are the enamel's all shot to hell. If I could do anything, I'd sue a psychiatrist and get my teeth all replaced with implants. I don't use sugar. There has been good psychiatrists out there talking about sugar busters. Sugar is a horrible substance, even artificial sugar. I use crystals. That's crazy. Everything's crazy because it's normal. They've been using crystals for how many centuries? Thousands of centuries. I'm an energy healer and I have anxiety. So how do I cure my anxiety? Aromatherapy and True Hope or Empower Plus. I'll probably get one bottle and take one pill a day. I'm taking these. They don't solve my problem much, but they're a drug. So I live a moral life. I don't believe in fossil fuels. I never have. Why? What's changed me, Greg? What has changed you? In volunteering for environmental activities like whale research, seeing my mother die of chemicals on farm fields, knowing these things are true, and putting it all together in a package. I went to agricultural college. I thought I'd use draft horses because I met a guy from Two Sisters, Oregon. He did a workshop with a bunch of Amish mind hack Amish people with draft horses. The team is small, slow, isn't it? Yeah. But the team pulls 6-horse hitch. It's powerful. It's not fast. I don't have GPS tracking things on it. I've seen good farming on 100 acres of mixed crop with draft horses. Oh, yeah. And I wonder what life is and how to live long because I love living. I tried to kill myself on drugs. I tried to kill myself. Nick Drake did it. Kurt Cobain did it. They can't cope with this crazy consumed world. They're artists, musicians. People kill themselves. Nick Drake couldn't cope with life. He took all those drugs and overdosed. I tried to, but God saved me. God says, I got a plan for you. And I recovered. And I never go back to a psychiatrist. Never. That pushes drugs. I was in the Calgary hospital. I bought into the devil. I went into a psych ward to get off the streets because my niece took money on me. I've been dealing with a lot of anger and frustration with those kids. And they hated me because I was anti-shrink and anti-drugs. She worked for a pharmaceutical company. She's always sick. See the anger raises in me? Knowing this since agricultural college that I quit. I wanted to use agricultural farming. The organic food system. Why is organic food so expensive? Regenerative agriculture. We used to crop rotate. Why is it so expensive? Why? Monsanto's Baird. These chemical companies are controlling farmers. Are they freedom? No, they're slavery. Credit score systems are slavery. I always worked and bought things right off. I started working after school and I was making damn good money. The other kids said, your mother bought that for you. What, a motorcycle? I was 17 years old. I owned a brand new motorcycle. Honda 500. It wasn't, it's not a big bike, but they're good bikes. And I traveled a lot on it. How can you own that? Kid comes in here, he's a millennial. Where'd you get that Fender Telecaster? That's you. Was it Japanese or a Squire? No, it's USA. How'd you buy it? Cash. Why are we? This was the problem with the world. Usury. The banking system went to usury. That's why the inflationary cycles are up. Everywhere you go, you have a credit score. Because you don't think you can get started. Well, I was a communist for a while. I didn't like that system. Nixon was coming into it. They all booked the gold. Well, we got gold now. It's the foundation of investment. What do I think of commodity market? Garbage. You have to have a lot of commodities and they don't grow fast. And they're all based on usury. The Christian mythology that you don't have usury in banking. It's using people on top of people. So your credit score is low, right? Huh. But I'll tell you, I'm not making it in Ontario because it lives on a credit score. But I bought the means of production. She stole my means of production, and I got to sue her and get it back. I had a Mac computer, stole it, stole microphones, everything. I'm a musician. So what do? I go to Alberta. I'll find a rural area. I can find places. I'm getting 19,000 a month in Ontario. I'll get more in Alberta. I may not like the politics. I don't have to like it. That's another thing. I have to like the community and help people. So they're all on here saying life coaching is a scam. What'd she say? I'll tell you what she said. I took one course and that was it. I've taken a whole pile of them. I read audiobooks on money and investment and business. I remember when money was good. And those books were Napoleon Hill, Dale Carnegie. But they're old, aren't they? Huh. They made millions. They are a foundation of your life. You know, life is God foundations. We build the blocks. Spirituality is doing right livelihood. We've been telling young people bad stories. Our education system, homeschool your kids. What about socialization? 4-H club, get involved in small community things. Libraries are great places. If in Alberta, in Ontario, drug holes. In BC, drug holes. Alberta's got better things for kids. I'm sorry. Small communities, nice libraries, quiet. The kids can go in there and learn. Community values. Grassroots economics. I've been in the Green Party, and I wondered where we went wrong. Where did we go wrong? Our information was too much. People don't read long pieces. I had the whole Green Party platform. It took me months. It took me days to read through the platform. You know, you build a website. What? Here's some knowledge. Building a website. You're just to hook people into something and what they want, and they're looking for something. Elizabeth May was quite right. You work for your constituents and micromanage your area as an MP. But when you put a platform out so big, nobody reads that. They read things that really hook them. Less taxes. Here, pull up. I look at my life in Ontario. So I'll tell you the debt systems. I buy things online, it's a lot cheaper. Why do I need cities? I've always liked the country, but now I got this. What is this computer? It cost me $180. It's a Chromebook. You know, I got Microsoft Word on it, Microsoft Office. It works well. I got Notion. I got Evernote. I got a pen. I got Notepad. How much did that Notepad cost me? $1.25. How much do these pens cost? You can get 10 of them for about $2. They work. They say you're old school. Oh, I'm horse and buggy. No. Writing your first draft on paper, getting your ideas down, There's a neurology to writing. It's very peaceful. I can go to a coffee shop. I don't have friends much. They laugh at me, and I just say something, and I'm making friends. When you say less is more, so I sit down and I write with a pen, and I'm thinking things. I'm not talking to myself. I talk to myself because my head's full of ideas all the time. But that's not good. People think you're wacko. Ken Gould did that. He was going through the forest and trees, but he went nuts. He started getting into hypochondria. Good songwriters. I'm reading about Gordon Lightfoot, the great Gordon Lightfoot. He made a lot of money, Sundown and all those songs, but he lived a minimal life. He had a table and a pen and his guitar. And he just use a pen and write it down. Most songwriters use pens and paper. And it's the way we write music. But I love writing, using the pen as a tool. I find a passion in learning because my mother taught me to read and learn and ask questions. When I was in college, it was struggle. It was struggle learning the horse business. But I had a passion. I remember my mother always asking questions. The instructor would say, Greg, that's a damn good question. I never thought about it. Children ask questions. You know, any mother that enjoys being with her toddler, or young daughter or son, will say, I never thought of that. Let's see, or a father, I'll explore that. Children are wonderful. People that don't know things will ask you questions. Think. Brainstorm it. Brainstorm ideas. Why is that? Be open-minded. Like I'm very open-minded. I had all these preconceived ideas, and I wonder, does that serve me? That's life coaching psychology. Does that serve me? Any form of psychology. Does this serve me? Is this a good story? You know, to sort out my life was writing with a pen stories that weren't serving me. My father was a First World War vet. He struggled through society. He struggled through the Great Depression. He struggled through England when, as a child, when they had the debt prisons, and they came to Canada. And he taught me tough love. He taught me that I'm not too smart. Just be a bricklayer. I don't want to be a bricklayer. I want to be a musician. I want to be an artist. I love photography. I love learning. My mother was different. Part Aboriginal, part Irish. Somehow I got a love for horses because of where God put me. Out in the country, there's always a horse out there. I love animals. So I worked for a race stable. The guy didn't know much. He was insurance sales. But he's not a horse trainer. We had horse trainers there. They wouldn't listen to him. I told him, you should change the feed. No, it's good feed. It's cheap. I've been going through this with animal behavioralism and everything. Cheap food. I can't work with people like that. He was cutting costs. You can't cut costs in horse racing. So I said, I quit. What are you going to do? My dad died. He left me a bit of money. What are you going to do? You don't make anything of yourself. Well, I haven't because I listen to those stories. So I don't listen to that. Nah. I went to college. And, I didn't have a lot of aptitude. I wasn't really well skilled in writing or anything. But it was a do or die system. That program was written by Ian Miller, the foundations of his knowledge. Ian Miller won the FEI with Big Ben in Dwyer Hill. Ontario. He didn't sacrifice. Every horseman I've listened to has changed my life. Ian Miller said to his wife, "Honey, we're not going to get a dishwasher. I found a nice Hanoverian. He's a warm blood. He's really big, but I see something new." That was Mr. Big Bad. Ian went out to Alberta and worked in spruce nuts. He's won so many championships worldwide. I got into, when I was in college, I was designing courses. And it changed my mind about sports. I think sports is a good inspiration for us all. You know, I love sports and I love being patrionizing with men and women in sporting events. Going to a sports bar, people cheering. Oh, beach basketball. No, they're cheering to see world-class PGA golf. Well, very rich people that play golf up there. I like being with them. And I like talking about sports psychology because I studied it. Designing courses. I was in 3D eventing. We were designing courses up there. Is it competing against other riders or the course? What do we compete against in life? The other guy? The dog-eat-dog capitalist method? Or we look at life as a course, you know, a map. Everybody's got some sort of map. Well, political systems change and you're going to get blocked. And they don't have any concern about your ethics or your principles. So you need to move on. I don't believe in appeasing cheap taxpayers. I believe in paying taxes. But I can't afford in Ontario. The taxes are so high because they're cheap taxpayers. Now it's really high. I paid one hell of a lot of tax in Ontario. And it was this block of entrepreneurism that was something they told me is mentally ill. You know, young people, I read Napoleon Hill. Is he mentally ill? His association? Dale Carnegie? These were people that built businesses. What makes Canada great is building and helping people up. So am I anti-Semitic? Oh, hell no. I sit in a bar there and I talk to a young man. He's a millionaire because his family's Jewish and they made a lot of money working together like Amish Mennonites. She says they must be rich the way they live. Their houses are so clean. They work hard. And they do have a freedom. Rumspringer. What is that? To sow thy wild oats and try the material world of all this abundance. After you've done it, join the church and become an Amish. They give them choices. Your parents give you choices. Mennonites and Amish and Hutterites and stuff. It's a spiritual principle living in the world, but don't be of the world. And they give them the right. Rumspringer is Dutch. Give them the right to try the world out. So I was reading Cal Westport. He writes digital minimalism. He's a technologist. But he talks about the Amish hack. You know, people judge Amish people because they use technology. Yeah, they do. They use the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic, like I learned in a country school. And I don't use scriptic writing. I print hybrid writing, and it flows very nice. It's slow. And I read Wendell Berry. He says slow writing is the best writing. I went into a coffee shop one day, and this woman's been writing books since she was young. She's a novelist. All she sits down with is a pen and paper, looks out the window, and sits there and writes with a pen and paper. Takes it home, transfers it to a word processor. It's probably got and now we got chatbot GTS. It works well. Or we can use Word, Microsoft Word. You can just send it to a Word, your copywriter. I was learning things I never thought I'd learn in college. The horse business. I'm 68. I can't ride much, but I love photography. I was always a photographer. My uncle was a photographer in 1912 before he got killed in the war. That was analog photography, the box camera. But we got cameras now that are so efficient and, mirrorless SL cameras. And we can do good photography and journal write for horse shows. I love horse shows. I love events. I love children enjoying barrel racing, everything. I'd like to photographer film it all. In college, I put everything together. Back then, we were using carousels. Kodak, carousel slide projectors, they were all right. You could sync them together. They'd follow a succession and you put music to it. You can get a projector and a computer and use Adobe programs and put things together. You can write music to it. You can do your passion. Now, making money is about passion. Have you ever had jobs that suck and you hate going to work every day? How's that energy make you money? Huh? How does money manifest? Well, the spiritual principle is with love and doing what you love doing. So I hear a lot of old people say, I can't make money. I don't want to learn things. I'm too old. Well, what causes senility? What causes senility? So I'm interested in psychology, how the mind works. I'm interested in how much we can jump down, how much we can take when we're in passion. But when does the chunking of too much information wear us out? Cal Westport talked about this. These computers were single purpose at one time, right? Yeah. But we do multitask everything. And our concentration level is a little bit higher than a goldfish, 30 seconds. That's all the focus we got. We got these smartphones. And I'm just thinking how I can hack that. I watch and it'll pick up a voice. But why do I need to carry a cell phone everywhere when I got an iWatch? I was thinking of a flip phone, but the iWatch is not bad, and it connects to my iPad or whatever. My phone's not working; it burns out. So I've been living without an iPhone. I got to take it back in. I haven't even paid him. I'll pay him and see if he can fix it. I went to Bell. Listen to this. I went to Bell. Will you replace this phone? No. So here's another mind hack. I bought the phone on a plan, but they didn't put any Apple Care or anything to it. Well, I've learned. Buy it directly from Apple. Keep that phone, pay it off. and buy it directly from Apple. And get a plan that's conducive to what you need. I only got 8 months to pay on it, but I want it repaired, so I'll have to pay him $200-300 to get repaired. It just keeps on breaking down. Why? Something I'm learning. These new updates are heating up the system. I'm burning it out. She's got 256 gigs. That's quite a bit. I want a bigger phone because I use a lot of apps. But I don't want social media. What? It wastes my life. How much life wasting do we do? You know, I see couples getting along good, young couples. Let me talk about this. They're doing analog games. They go into a brewery here. Nice young couple. They're having fun. They're just playing board games. I used to play them. Yeah, Scrabble, like that. She likes him and he likes her. And they have fun and they laugh. Video games? I don't think they're very good. I think they're a waste of time. And I think analog games are in the minimalistic technology field. He's right. We live a life of video games. This restaurant, people book in to go in and play board games. Community values. I used to go into a place. They played Trivia Pursuit in a bar. It was the only damn vestige of community value in this town. And people loved it. He's a DJ here, so he uses his PA. And he asks these questions, and everybody's trying. And he's a nice guy. I talked to him. He's been playing music for years. And, you know, that is fun. Because it's connecting us together. We laugh and we have fun. There's no community values with this overconsumed society. I see couples going out together, not dating. They're scrolling through their friggin' phones. Do we need those phones with us? This Apple Watch, I answer calls. I could go to a flip phone, but why? Get the Apple phone fixed and connect it. It's good for health. I got music on it, but I don't need to carry YouTube and everything with me. I sit in bars and I'd rather talk to people. Or I'd rather take notes and write. The inner art of listening and learning and growing. You can use a computer at home. You can, but social media is conforming us. You know, I'm an environmentalist, and I don't believe that we can't switch. Australia's going 3 times more on solar voltaics and everything. I tell you, it's a story. See, there's trolls everywhere. It's the banks breaking down. The banking system is breaking down. Even in Canada, United States, $31 trillion or more. In Canada, 1 point some million. Trillion. That's a lot of money. Debt. So look at the way the system works here. To rent anything, you got to have a credit score. Alberta, nah, it's more, you got the money, we'll rent to you. And you can build the credit score in a bit. Like I was looking at teacup tiny houses. You got to have a credit score of 800. You know, I went bankrupt because I listened to people. My brother says, just buy her things and she'll be happy on credit. You know, I buy these things and they come in and they're not really making me happy. They're making her happy and she's not happy at all. And we're at all this debt. We're building it up. I went bankrupt, okay? Bankrupt. I'll be honest with you. I did a complete bankruptcy and wiped it out. But they stole money on me, and they put something in my brother's name that's made me bankrupt. It made me insolvent. What is these things that they sell you? And I was doing Reiki on people, and they wouldn't quit that. How many stations do you need? How many TV stations do you need? These companies are just gorging people to buy into TV. Numbness. My brother never did anything except watch TV. And he got the company to come in, and he sold them. I had so many scamming young guys coming in there trying to get to university by selling junk. And I had to get lawyers and get that stuff off. An elder lawyer. Now you can't even get an elder lawyer. Get the hell out of Ontario. They stole money on me. They stole the estate, everything. Because she took over executor and manipulated him. And my problem is I got a lawyer. It's legal stuff. But I got no phone. I could work on it and maybe send them documents, but this is terrible. I need a phone. So I have to go down Monday, get that phone fixed. I don't even know if I got enough money to pay him. But I'll tell you something. He's a private enterprise, and he just let me have the phone. He didn't even take my thing, so I owe him money. And I never go down on people. I mean, take money away from people. They're big corporations. Don't give a crap about them. Excuse my language. I give it a guy that's trying to make money and gives me the benefit of the doubt. I'm walking along, and he says, "Hey, buddy, yeah, I got your phone. It's fixed." Good. And he gave it to me. I said, "Do you want my ID and everything?" No. Well, that is trust. So he gets my business, and I promote him with that sort of gratitude. But I owe him the money, and I see if he can fix it. I'd like to keep that phone, pay it up, and never use Bell. Not in Ontario. Ontario's got bad programs. I've learned a lot with humility that you always have a plan that backs up the phone. But at the time, it was covert, okay? It was covert, and I didn't have any money. I couldn't get anything through the banks. The pension wasn't coming in. I had to rely on people. I've learned a lot of humility. Let me talk about this. These swipe keys don't work. They don't work. I didn't know that. I get out there. I paid $150 to stay in a hotel around the corner. But I started talking to my neighbor. She says, "You got to swipe it every month and recharge it." Is that all I do? Go downstairs, swipe it, recharge it. Woo, it works. You ought to ask questions and rely on people. This is a community, and you're in an elders building, seniors. Well, this is 655 for us. You know, there was a woman down the hall I couldn't get along with. She was 50. She got in here. She was just bitter. There's another one I can't get along with. She's going around saying crazy things like everybody's wearing masks or just fakes. I'm tired of people that deny COVID. It's not very kind. Now, I had problems with COVID. I didn't believe it. But I got one. I see a girl walking along with her baby. I got a mask, and it's not on my face. Pull up, and she smiles at me. Because that's kindness. She doesn't want that child sick. And I started realizing this isn't fake. People are dying. So I got the vaccines and I don't resist it. And being an energy healer, I do not believe that I'll turn into a lizard man. I don't believe in this stuff. So when I was in the hospital, the doctor said, "This is so disturbing, this social media stuff." It is. It's very disturbing going around denying this freedom of speech. And, environmentalism was always known, but now it's getting washed away. Fiction and trolls. Why live online? Why talk about it? Why not live a carbon-free life? Less plastics, minimalization. Live the life you want to be. Live a spiritual life. That's freedom. Not a religious life. Faith-based life is man-made ideologies and fear-based God. Course in Miracles is so perfect. It's love. God is love. Love people. Fighting everything and not helping our world is dreadful. That's not a good economy. These guys are inflating the housing market. They're blind. They don't know what the harm they're doing to our society. But they say it's to make money. Well, money doesn't grow like that. So we live in a world of usury, debt, and greed. And the Bible, it was a sin to have usury. No, that's all right. The credit score system is a prison. Mortgages are debt. But what do you young people do? What do you do? Well, the federal government has made it that you got to be here 2 years before you own a house. So there's a lot of immigrants coming in and just getting rooms and getting along with people. That was my gig. I couldn't get along with people. When I live in a room, it'd have to be people that vibrate to me. I'm a lot different than what I was. I was sort of rebel-like, and I like to drink. But I don't drink that much. I have 2 beers and that's it. I can get along with people. And, but I just like living by myself because I play music. I'll find a small apartment. And I'll find it in a rural, quiet area. And the Wi-Fi and cellular I'll pay for. It's cheaper. And I'll build my business. Money goes into a credit union, not a bank. Because credit unions in rural areas build the community. Am I against globalization? The way we're doing it, X is what I'm against. The way we can do it is import things that are going to be useful to us and do trade, but not this way. We're shipping food thousands of miles. Thousands of miles. And you get sick on it. Well, the grapes. I had grapes last week. Oh, this is cheap, Greg. Buy them. Oh, hell, I got sick. Because they're from South America. They ship so far. And they $2. Oh, it's cheap. $8, $9, $12. Grapes are expensive. So if I move to Australia, I'll live in a wine grape region and buy grapes. I like grapes. But here in Alberta, I'm going to find grassroots economy. Small area. Because I read 10 acres is enough. 10 acres is enough. You have chickens. You want eggs. You want anything. You micromanage that little acreage. 10 acres would do it. Grow a garden, root vegetables. Your cost down. Essential oils, you can mix essential oils and make better cleaning products. You get things in the hardware store. This stuff costs a fortune. It's chemicals. You can live a very good life. I took a course on Udemy on Eastern Australia, making cleaning products with essential oils, sodium bicarbonate, and all those simple solutions. And it's easy. Essential oils cost money. They're not cheap. They're little bottles, but you only need so much. They're the essence of everything. Now, minimalize. Grassroots economy. Simple. Rural life. We got Wi-Fi, cellular. Cellular is so expensive here. Very expensive in Ontario. Oh, there goes my coffee. But I was just thinking, Alberta's got better Wi-Fi systems. Grassroots economy is where I'm really going to kick in. Farming. Because when I was out there, I saw a lot of farmers overextended and going under. Okay? Going under by big corporations and banks. I talked to European agriculture. They agree with me. Credit unions and farm banks are a better system. Grassroots economy. 4-H clubs. A kid came on there and she said, listen to this. She said, I don't have any friends. I never socialized. Because I lived out in the country and I was homeschooled. Problem there is 4-H clubs and community events are what she needs. Going down to a local swimming pool, a gymnasium, learning to skate, going to a horse show, getting in with other young ladies is going to make your life better. Rural kids aren't as mean as city kids, unfortunately. And the kids that live on social media can be mean because they're trying to be better than the other one. But is it wrong, the social media system, the internet? Well, I've learned a lot I use a lot of data, and I'm always studying courses and writing. I don't think that's wrong. I think what's wrong is social media. And I got to plug this in. The battery's going dead. But what's wrong with our world? We look up everything. We look up everything, and everybody's got some opinion, some generalized statement about life. Life isn't that way. Unfortunately, it's not that way. I'm wearing a robe. That's probably indecent. That's not normal. Oh, it's early morning. Why can't I? Why can't I? I'm in my house. I'm not in the street. And, I got the lights on. This whole apartment's electric. I don't have gas heat. No gas heat. I've overpaid the hydro. They owe me money. So I'm just thinking, those lights there are LED. They're very efficient. They don't really. I look at my hydro drain. It's not bad. There's a minimalization about that. I find these lamps. I can get things free. People die in here, and I bought that. I got that nice lamp there. I like it. And just use low wattage bulbs. Those lights are awful bright. So I'm not really consuming a lot of energy. I'm not consuming energy much. Not amazing, eh? The computer doesn't use a lot. But I'm behind in paying the Wi-Fi. I'll pay it up. And I'm making a bit more money. My problem is going out and feeling lonely and saying I'm alone. I went out and I felt sick. I hate the music. It's all that hip hop. I don't connect with people with hip hop. I don't connect with people on phones. So I go out. Just buy a bit of whiskey. Not much. Minimalize your life. This is a crazy world of capitalism. I buy guitar strings. Buy them online. They're cheaper. Everything's cheaper online. There's no box stores here.